Hello, we are Studio Noviki, and this is our second session with manifestos.
Yeah, we a little bit expanded the space we visited last time, and we would like you to enter a new space because today we are hosting new guests. So please, could you show the address to a new virtual space we are meeting today? It's also probably
okay,
under
this is the link to our Mozilla Hub
stream.
space.
So you are all welcome to join us. Maybe we will give you a little summarize what has happened so far. So
okay, I can see new people inside.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so we will give you a few moments to join in, and maybe we will tell again what it's all about. So this is our panel. It consists of 3 parts. We ask a question in this panel. Do manifestos still have the power to steer us from our lethargy? Do manifestos change the way we think? And do they open a space for new ideas? These are the main questions. And during the 3 meetings with festival goers and invited guests, we reflect on current power of manifesto and try to create and imagine new scenarios for the future. We are trying to break social distancing, and with these arranged meetings and virtual tours in this platform called Virtual Manifesto Space, we are meeting our guests, people who are eager to speak with us and to share their ideas. Recently, last time, it was last Sunday, I think, we hosted Joanna from Radicals Group. And please go into virtual space now, if you know the background.
Can we go to Mozilla Hub? Okay, great.
And we were talking with Joanna about her applications and her attitude towards digital ecology. So we were naming the methods of keeping the network clean. Joanna was paying attention to limitations of data flow, and she made a lot of suggestions for us, for example, to use small attachments and other practical information that everyone can do in their own home with their personal computers to be a little bit more digital friendly and ecological friendly. So last time we were also talking about very interesting ideas with Jan Zygmuntowski. We were talking about data commons, and today we have another very interesting guest, Weronika Lewandowska. Wysocka. Sorry. With whom we also presented work during the Warsaw Under Construction Festival in Museum of Modern Art. The current show is on view, so if you are from Warsaw, you can view the new show in Museum of Modern Art. Yes.
Yes, and it's still open with whole sanitary regime, so you definitely should go there and see it.
Today we would like to focus a little bit also on the medium of the internet. And we would like to show you a short video we have made after the meeting with Ken Garland, who was present in Warsaw, and we created some kind of a installation after the event called First Thing First Manifesto, which was a kind of a contribution to Ken Garland manifestos ideas. I think that we will open today the discussion about the medium of internet with this video. First, we will play it, and maybe later there will be some voices and discussion about what do you think about this kind of representation of the medium of internet that we have prepared. This video has 6 minutes.
Yeah, so please be patient.
Yeah, and it's kind of a immersive environment that you are inside, but the end shows what it is exactly, so it has also some kind of a surprise in the end. And maybe later on we will explain why we have shown this work. So please, could you show the video number 1?
So strange. Standing there alone, the ship is waiting, all systems are go. Are you sure? Control is not convinced, but the computer has the evidence. No need to report. The countdown starts. Watching in a trance, the crew is certain, nothing left to chance. All is working, trying to relax. Up in the capsule, send me up a drink. Jokes made or told. The count goes on. 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Worthy lost, drifting. Second stage is cut. We're now in orbit, stabilizers up. Running perfect, starting to collect requested data. What will it affect? When all is done, thanks Major Tom. Back at ground control, there is a problem. Go to rockets full. Not responding. Hello, Major Tom. Are you receiving? Turn the thrusters on. We're standing by. There's no reply. 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. Earth lost, drifting. Far beneath the ship, the world is mourning. They don't realize he's alive. no one understands, but Major Tom sees now the light commands. This is my home, I'm coming home. 4, 3, 2, 1. Earthly lost, drifting, floating waves, earthly lost, drifting, floating waves,
Okay, so we are back in our space.
So that was kind of a allegory of internet as a bubble, or like a sphere which you are inside and can observe different glittering lights and characters and different materials, but in fact it's like a bubble and you don't have access to the algorithm that represent what's really inside. It's like allegory of a black box that functions in a internet. Maybe someone would like to relate to this kind of vision. Hi, Veronica.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. We are in your space at the moment, yes, so if you are approaching the virtual world, you are like landing inside the works that you, that documents your exhibitions.
Recently
worked, so, yeah. What do you think about this image of internet we presented?
This is actually very much what me and my friend Amy had to deal with before we started our project, and then also during working on it. So this wall of we basically were hitting the wall of being powerless. Mm-hmm. We started to somehow rationalize our fragilities by giving away the logic. And I feel like sometimes when you're starting from the position of a person who's trying to face the whole bad sides of internet, such as biases, or you want to reach the codes that are generating all the irregular activities on social media. Yeah, exactly. Then you feel just powerless, but at the same time, the possibility of taking things slowly, step by step, seems not fast enough. But actually, this is where we are supposed to start.
Yeah, it's great that you started this topic of power and powerless, because according to like your attitude towards manifesto, we also ask people, do you gain some power with manifesting your voice, position, or do you think you are under control of some forces that enable you or will not allow you to act? I would also like to show a super short film which has only 1 minute, which somehow relates to this question of power, of gaining power, or being like a soul agent, in relation to James Hillman theory of a soul. I would like to now maybe shortly show this video number 2, which touches exactly this problem. Maybe that will explain a little bit our attitude and give some power to the conversation that we are having at the moment. So please, can we see the video number 2? It's about archetypes that run our lives and also the power that control our living. Please show us video number 2.
It seemed probably a good move in old age to make it profoundly personal. We are lived by powers we pretend to understand. Meanings don't carry you through, but the images are your companions. You can have all the slogans in the world and explanations and understandings, but what carries you through are the voices and figures you live with and can talk with.
Okay.
So this film also poses this question of power and being powerless, or like being dependent or independent towards what's happening around and about global forces. Yeah, we were also talking last day, because this space here is also, yes, for visitors, and we had a lot of conversation recently offline in this space. I wonder how you perceive this, Veronica, towards what we were talking also about glitch manifestos recently in our previous meeting. You started to read it, and we were starting this conversation of glitch as a maybe some kind of way of escaping.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I like to think about my work as a kind of archive of social moods and archive of how the identity is also transforming through the usage of social media and through the data flow. And actually, the Glitch Manifesto also revealed for me so many positive sides. I like to be more melancholic, but this showed me also how the internet space, even though up till today, it's not a very safe space, it also helps people to break free and discover their own identity, which couldn't maybe evolve to such without this free space.
Do you agree that this environments, I mean the digital and normal one, are like overlapping constantly, so you are no longer can tell whether they different or they are like two separate parts, like it is said in Glitch Manifesto that in fact everything is now can be perceived and layered, the digital layer, the digital narration that we have on our phones, and you know, the things we see in Instagram stories are like one movie that we are like watching constantly in our reality. It's like completely overlaps with each other, or do you like somehow manage to make difference between those two words and you still separate them?
I don't think that I separate them, but also I feel like it's interesting to observe the process, how it's going, and I think it's interesting to be sensitive about how our adult language and interactions are changing because of the basically copy-paste culture, and through the like information scrolling, how the core of the conversations are also changing, and how even children's speech is changing. So I think I wouldn't separate this, because I think it's already very entangled, but I feel like it's important to observe it and probably also be critical about it, but I'm not, I feel like I'm not specialized enough to also predict towards which direction it will go.
Yeah, I would like to maybe mention this situation when you are going outside. This is what we want to show, another short movie we've made, maybe in relation to what we are talking at the moment. I remember the situation that the playgrounds for kids were wrapped up with black tape because of the pandemic. They were like useless for kids, and they created this super modern sculpture. We've made a short video with also some glitch effects, maybe in relation also to this manifesto, because this glitch effects like makes the distraction between real world and this sculpture, like artifacts. Maybe I would like to show
but
this.
Martin, you should also mention that a glitch is some kind of mistake, and those mistakes can be taken as a like possibility to you know interact with people, to change something, to like put some ideas in small things, like in we hosted like our last guest was Joanna, who ran this Instagram account, and like it's her main like voice, because you can really read those like short informations about technology, like how can you control it more, and about you know whole ecology of in technology. So yeah, it's like her voice, some kind of manifesto. So for me, it's like the best way of communication now.
We are trying also to find those glitches in reality, and to maybe this also Google sheet that is that you can enter through the link also in this space is also some kind of a space you can make notes and make some manifestos and suggest us some solutions.
You are talking about this Google Sheets document. It's yeah, it's
just behind you.
You will find it in the space. It should be written also as a link in our streaming.
Yeah, but let's see this the last hour film. This is this COVID Playground, the video number 3, which presents this glitches between reality and digital representation of those COVID playgrounds. It's not long, but it may also add something to the conversation, and then we will continue with your work, Veronica, okay? So video number 3.
Yes, sure.
Okay, so we are back.
Yeah, what do you think about this mixed reality? Like, your video somehow touches this problem of data harvesting and Cambridge Analytica issues and all those things related with modern data. So would you like to somehow elaborate?
I don't know if you prefer to see film now, your film, or we should talk before. Veronica? Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, we are wondering, should we play your film now, or first we will talk about it?
Maybe I can read you a statement that we have sent to the museum and to the viewers, and to somehow also expose people to the main topic.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
The idea for our work appeared from our regular exchange of messages in 2020, sharing the same feed. In disbelief and strange excitement, we watched the abuses of power emerge one by one. We collectively started to archive the evidences of irregular activities on social media, such as banning, biases, or censorship. Social media companies reacted faster than we had anticipated by securing themselves with regret-sounding PR statements that promised to examine on work, on possible biases to provide a better, safer experience for their users in the future. To find our responsibility in the scale of connections and identify participation in any possibly harmful policies as users, we sought to explore the sequence of cause and effect of algorithmic oppressions. Living, scrolling, absorbing information together, we watched one another's nervous system and cognitive systems dissolving into hyper-reality. Stimulated by it, we both had undergone mild psychotic episodes while sitting in the armchair in the Polish cottage house. As we observed and recorded each other's behavior, we created the scenario for this video. It's a visual representation of the mind of a new activism generation who, in order to fight for the rights, loses their sanity from time to time, blaming themselves for lack of adequate resistance systems, although only high specialized experts might have access to that. Hitting the wall of powerless, we rationalize our frailties by giving away logic. The visibility or invisibility of large power tycoons appearing on our screens daily clashes in our mind with unimaginable strong need to regain our freedom and bring back justice, a cycle that forces us to surrender logic, and the sense of reality is an effect of the mutual experience of helplessness.
Yeah, it's like
it's like a manifesto in itself.
It sounds like a manifesto. Yeah, it was our statement and this description of our process. So basically, our approach was to fight against by archiving the screenshots, by putting them into. We were trying to create a timeline of irregular, sometimes probably very illegal activities on social media that were happening to simple users. And then from that point, we thought that we have to start from the beginning. So we started our research from 2013 when Cambridge Analytica started to do some kind of experiment on Kenyan users, and we finished our research on the last abuse of power that happened in September, which happened in Belarus when during the elections authorities stopped internet signal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were watching all those events live on Telegram, and yeah, it was also distributed through social medias. So this was the channel we could observe everything. And yeah, I also interesting. What's your attitude towards, because now you are like in Amsterdam, in a completely different environment, and I wonder, how do you perceive all those, what's happening with data in the institutions?
Yes, as we were talking today before the meeting, you mentioned that there is a quite big difference between what kind of attitude people have
towards data, because we managed somehow to...
Between Poland and, for instance, Amsterdam.
Yeah, the Netherlands.
So it's true, up to last month, I was used to hear that, yes, just like controlling your data flow is so hard, or how can you actually resign from, I don't know, Facebook or Instagram or Google Maps or Google Drive. And since I'm here, I got to know that actually a lot of people are using completely different social media websites and tools. And it doesn't feel so hard. Yes. It doesn't feel so hard. And actually people already got those tools and are trying to share with one another. And yeah, it started to feel so much more simple. And basically it's also what I was telling about at the beginning, that it's also about step by step, not everything at once.
Okay, so yeah, this is very interesting remark. Yesterday we were talking with a group of girls who are trying somehow to act in a different environment than this commercial environment of Facebook and Instagram, because of the you know, like possibility,
the strict policy, also the strict policy
of not letting, for example, express your attitude towards body in a full way, yes, because we are all the time searching for, like, dealing with internet. We want to show, you know, our full expression, and more it became like a closed space with full of different biases, and it wasn't that all the time, but this crazy idea, an absurd idea of not showing women's nipples and the possibility of showing men's nipple in the Instagram or things like that are really making those spaces more and more absurd. Maybe it's a good time to dive into your video and show to the public, so maybe there will be some question about it, and then you can ask, and let's present it in a full length. Yes, it's like also 6 minutes long, so we can dive into it now.
So could you show us film number 4?
The arc of seduction is bending from the distrust. It will not break, but it is shooting and hitting to spread the dependence like poison, sacrificing sanity, inflicting cognitive systems with fear. Surveillance of consciousness continues, with our permission, but without paying attention.
I read his entries and I feel so tiny. This is so illegal. Yeah. You know what's funny? Immediately I commented on his posts, I was blocked again. At this point, I believe they're targeting black creators and treating the Black Lives Matter movement as terrorism. What to do, I don't know. Social media is being presented as democratic. They're gaslighting us. using legal terms like fact-checking, protection guidelines. I'll tell you more when we meet. Just good to spread information so people understand what's happening. Without facts and proofs, we can all be considered conspiracy spreaders. I cannot like or comment on this because I'm blocked. So many questions. TikTok is also gaslighting Black and queer creators. They claim they just use attractive people. But what is the standard of attractive? What's the benchmark? I'm paranoid as well because it's China-owned. And who knows how they plan to use all that data. I think we need to start learning about data. I've become really paranoid. I'm doing a data cleanse. We consent to so much online without really understanding. Who is to say who's in charge, you know? So spooky.
Transactional oppression. Same tools for fun, for raising awareness, and for deepening the invigilation. Brainwave shattered with unstructured information, not explained, and not logically connected, lead to paranoia. We are mad, and we know about it. We were always mad, but now it is exposed, and yet it is getting worse.
It's a complex loop. Do you know this quote about how madness is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results? We are that. We're a mad species. We really are. And there's no difference to us and like a, what do you call a male chicken that wakes up and makes the same sound every morning. Rooster, yeah. It's the same loop. Yeah, anyway. I wonder if it has something to do with the fear of death. Like, what would happen if you subtracted that? Would it change anything? If people's ego was not about getting so much now, because the now is ending. I feel like fear of death has something to do with greed. You want bigger, faster. It does not make sense in my opinion. We all end up in the ground anyway.
Confined what you might not be able to do or to handle. Where you sense you will fall apart and things will still be far from ideal. Before the damage costs you distrust. Before anticlimax evokes aggression. The software of our minds. It may be unseen, unrecognized, but never unfelt.
Where do I place myself in all of that? That's interesting, because you're either participating or spectating, which is very individualistic. Like what monks do, it's like honorable, but dudes, if you're so wise, then change the world or something. I'm not depressed. I'm just concerned for the human species. Because if I can like grow mentally in just 2 years, damn, like anything is possible, you know? In my mind, I feel like we're knocking on the door and no one opens it. And everything is inside. I just have to get inside. Okay, I'll stop now. It's random.
Yeah, I kind of went crazy. But I'm okay. I'm just like, how can I remove myself? Is it possible? Isn't that it's all mixed? To some degree? One cannot win the battle. Defeat. A hyper-hilarious generation.
lobby. Welcome, Further Futurism. Yeah.
I've read it, and for me, it's very, very interesting, like how those manifestos, like, are evolving during the time. But I don't have any particular stuff, like, you know, reading some Harari stuff and other things.
You mean how they evolve from the origin of manifestos, or like the manifesto itself? Like,
and yeah, it's somehow really wonderful responding to our times. Like, it's very hard to find any kind of response that fits, but attempts are really, really interesting. Like, they're telling a lot about.
do you create manifesto yourself, or do you have some manifesto that you are trying to obey?
Not yet.
Okay.
But do you know some interesting manifestos? Maybe do some inspire you with?
Yeah, you can write down on our Google Sheets your contribution or any comments.
Maybe, and you, Litka is already disappeared from the space, but I wanted to ask her some question. What about you, Rudy? What leads you here into this space?
Maybe you should unmute your microphone.
Yeah.
Hello, hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Sorry.
You have to speak really, really loud and close to the microphone, because then we can't hear you.
I need to come closer to you.
Excuse me?
I'm just trying to work out how best to position myself here in this space.
I'm sure you have already talked about this, but yeah, of course. Xenofeminism was like tough stuff a few years ago. And
yeah, we started with this Glitch Feminism Manifesto, which is like the most recent one.
I think the book appeared like a few weeks ago already. It's like super fresh stuff. Interesting thing. Yeah. And Veronica, for you, maybe do you have some favorite manifestos, or like manifestos you?
Recently, I got to know about the Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace, which was the very first one. It was written by...
Oh, here we've got Polo Futurism. Sorry for who was here yesterday. Yes.
Yeah. Did you mention that Polo Futurism last time? Was it this one?
Yeah, it's the same person.
It's the same person we visited.
Yeah, we had conversation lately.
For me, what was interesting to read this very first manifesto about cyberspace is this really profound belief that the internet will be a safe space if it will be managed by civilians, not by governments. And it's actually interesting that nowadays governments are trying to maybe somehow enforce the laws that will somehow secure their citizens as well. And yeah, that's it.
Oops, sorry.
And welcome you, Polo Futurism. Have you some remarks from our last meeting? And did you upload
yeah, maybe you saw
something?
Veronica film, and you would like to comment something?
So you don't want to talk today? Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Maybe what I would also...
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I see.
Yeah, we have.
I think we should gather really close together.
Can you?
Because then we can hear each other better.
Yeah, just to make a remark on this document, it's around my head. This blue document, it's a Google document that you can upload with your own thoughts and remarks and some manifests. This is already what Weronika Wysocka also did. She put there a lot of interesting links. So check this out in the free time, and yeah.
Yeah, I think they are in the second row, so you can see them. Yeah, we also added some feminist internet and sustainable web manifesto, so you can read it.
Recently, I was thinking about how the interfaces that are the most harmful are so easy, and I was thinking that probably we should be also more attracted towards those interfaces which are not so easy in using, and maybe even suspect those ones who are appealing and super easy and attractive. And yep.
Yeah, we have some suggestions because it's like 10 minutes left for the end of our session. Maybe I will display another video. It's a film we've made about
a year ago.
Yeah, we've made like 1 year ago. It's about a city, also as a kind of manifesto of brain, because what we create as a city, also as an internet, comes from, of course, the structure of our brain. So it has a lot of similarities, and it has also similarity with digital space. So maybe in the background we can see this video about the node video, presenting a city as a node in the net, as a node structure. And we can continue.
Yeah, we can continue this conversation.
Inside, and yeah, but the viewers on stream will just see the video. So we will say goodbye to the streamers and watchers live, and we will be here in the space. So if anyone would like to ask us some question or talk with us like offline, it will be possible now.
Yeah, we also encourage you to use our Google Sheets, so you can write us there.
And if you would like, someone would like to have a private tour through this space and talk with us about some artifacts here or documentations that are present in this space, so please write us a direct message, and then we can give you a private tour. You know, in any free time we have, we can make a session offline of the stream. So we would
online, but offline of the stream. Yeah.
Internet. And I would like also you to come here and maybe talk with each other in this platform, because it stays in the web, and treat it as a place for conversation.
I think we will close it like after 1 week.
To make the internet clean, but yes, it's still online. So thank you for being here with us. Thank you, Weronika, and yeah, we invite you for the node video, and we are staying here for 10 more minutes for answering questions and having a conversation inside this virtual space. Goodbye, and see you on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we see the video number 5?
My city is the node of the transaction. People say it is chaotic, decentralized. But I like it that way. I know what they're exchanging. I know what they're trading. My only goal is the decency of means. Unlike others, I like to feel invisible. And you, do you like to feel that way? With new apps I count the steps and measure different distances. And how many steps you take every day? How much data you're exchanging? I'm sorry for the questions I actually know the answer to. By the way, I got some great news today, some proposition from a relative. I mean not quite from a relative, he just has the same name, he also has a transaction to offer me. He would like to share the money with me. It's a pretty big amount, $15 million, 50% for me and 50% for him. I told you that this town is the node of the transaction. All in all, when I tell you this about my city, you probably get the impression it's a little chaotic. But chaotic situation is always deliberately produced. What you hear is the sound of working servers, nodes processing information, graphic cards calculating, cooling systems. This is the city in the city. This is a dynamo in the machinery of night. This is the battlefield for your attention, the last field to colonize. And it's all built on trust. On a new system of trust sustained by other nodes. False promises are not approved here. The ones that have come true are closed and arranged in blocks scattered all over the world. Nodes that transcend states. There is no taboos to protect it. The dance of a virtual couple. I'll look at it tomorrow versus a billion times now. Isn't it really a chaos magic? And by the way, when we finally see each other, I hope it won't be long now.
Hi, I am the discriminative classifier. Except for the empty, black spaces you see in the background, I think there are a few more things I need to explain here. First of all, I don't know if you were aware of it, but all you found out was a lie. This isn't the first time she's tried to cheat on me. What should I do? I'm hurt, angry, confused and betrayed, but on the other hand, things have been so good with us for so long, does this really matter? She told you she liked this town, but she really wanted to get out of it a long time ago. All she lives for is an accidental megastructure called the stack, both a technological apparatus and a model for a new geopolitical architecture. Smart grids, cloud platforms, mobile apps, smart cities, the Internet of Things, automation, these are her desires. These are her glittering trinkets. She is inside the stack and it is inside of us. She is all I have, she is Earth, cloud, city, address, interface, user, in an era of planetary scale computing. It's the way she makes me feel, it's the only thing that's real, it's the way she understands she's my lover, she's my friend, and when I look into her eyes it's the way I feel inside. Like the discriminator, I want to be, she is the generator, all I ever need. She's all I ever had in a world so cold, so empty, she's all I ever had.
Yeah, hi, I'm sorry I was being insincere, he'll always find out. I don't believe in compliance. I've always been attracted to unfairly marginalized elements of the city, urban markets, informal economies, that were being invented in the time of crisis, peer-to-peer networks, cryptocurrencies. Maybe you won't agree with me, but you should know that what really makes me happy is organic and constantly transforming urban space, temporary architecture, areas torn out of the urban fabric, or city architecture as a living sculpture, based on irregular, organic spatial forms full of the meandering and curvilinear lines found in nature. I also admire all grassroots activities, they create the most beautiful ideas of urban utopias. Like the proof of work protocol. Thanks to this, we learn to create new visions even more efficiently, even more difficult to recognize. As generators, we don't always tell the truth, but our discriminators always recognize our visions, they can always identify them as utopias or fakes. In this second, after millions of recognitions, I am able to generate very complex random truths, but he's also learning, knows my lies, he recognizes me more and more precisely. And all the nodes are the same, all the streets are the same, all the cities are the same. Do you know a poem written by Cavafy? You won't find a new country, won't find another shore. This city will always pursue you. You'll walk the same streets, grow old in the same neighborhoods, turn gray in these same houses. You'll always end up in this city. Don't hope for things elsewhere, there's no ship for you, there's no road. Now that you've wasted your life here, in this small corner, you've destroyed it everywhere in the world.
I approve this message. You said, I'll go to another country, go to another shore, find another city better than this one. Whatever I try to do is fated to turn out wrong. And my heart lies buried like something dead. How long can I let my mind molder in this place? Wherever I turn, wherever I look,
I see the black ruins of my life, here, where I've spent so many years, wasted them, destroyed them totally.
I see the black ruins of my life, here, where I've spent so many years, wasted them, destroyed them totally.
You finally seem to agree with me. It's a great poem, but let's not get depressed. We need to do batch normalization along with other factors to get better results. Maybe our visions were too low in resolution. Maybe we should be more into seeding, not leaching. The continuous growth image is already faded, instead of constantly sustaining it, we have to render a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Did I tell you that this town is the node of the transaction? So now, after everything I've said, do you think it's better to stay here or leave? I remember knowing it, for a while, for a long time, but now I don't remember. I'm calculating something else. Chaos and success magic are just software processes, and I'm getting more and more immersed into digiphrenia, doesn't feel like I can share anything else.